Welcome back to the Traveling Templar channel. Today's video is going to be on Bernard de Tremelay, the 4th Grand Master of the Poor Knights of Christ in the Temple of Solomon. Bernard was born sometime at the end of the 11th century, but the exact date is not known. He was born in the castle owned by his father Humbert, the Lord of Tremelay, near St. Claude in the Jura, which is an administrative department of France. What exactly he did before joining the Templars is not known either, but when he did join the order, he is seen serving as preceptor of the Temple of Dol in Jura, an important preceptory in France. In June of 1151, he was elected as Grand Master of the Templar Order after the abdication of Everard de Barris. While Bernard was Grand Master, King Baldwin III gave the Templars the fortified city of Gaza, which was an important city as it sat at the gateway into Egypt, but it also stood between the Muslim-controlled city of Ascalon and Egypt. The Templar Grand Master rebuilt the walls and constructed new towers to ensure it was near impregnable by land or sea. To better protect from attacks from Ascalon, he had surrounding fortresses also reinforced. At the end of 1152, King Baldwin III decided to take advantage of the divided Muslim leadership and the military victories of the Latin Kingdom by leading his troops to the city of Ascalon, which lies between Gaza and Tel Aviv. In January of 1153, the crusading armies besieged the city. The city was besieged by land and sea, but was unable to prevent the city from being resupplied, which caused the siege to cover several months. Ascalon had twice as many troops as the Crusaders had, with ample supply. The Crusaders were unable to break through the Muslim defenses, even with constant battering of the towers and walls. The only advantage of the Crusaders was the use of siege towers that rose higher than the walls and from which they could fire volleys of arrows and missiles into Ascalon. The city wouldn't fall until late summer. On August 15, 1153, a Templar siege tower was set afire, but because of the prevailing winds, the fire blew back at the Muslims, and the already weakened walls crumbled, causing a breach to be opened in the Muslim defenses. The events that followed vary depending on the historical source, but all agree that the Templars were the first and only ones to make it through the breach, and which resulted in the slaughter of the Templars, including the Grand Master, Bernard de Tremelay, on August 16th. Their bodies were hung from the walls, which incensed the crusading army, and the city fell 3 days later. Most scholars believe that the Templars dashed into the breach to scout ahead, but others, like William of Tyre, state that the Templars were intent on getting more plunder for their order and leaving the rest to the other Christians. But I believe this narrative was driven by the dislike that William of Tyre had for the Knights Templar. After the death of Bernard de Tremelay, the Templar order elected André de Montbard, uncle of Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, as the new Grand Master. While there is very little information regarding Bernard de Tremelay, he was the first Grand Master of the Order to be killed in battle. He and his fellow Templars took part in the expansion of the Latin Kingdom and in the fight for the control of the city of Ascalon, which had been a thorn in the side of the Crusaders since the beginning. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and you can also follow me on X, Instagram, and Facebook.